Hey, hello, how are you? I'm Caitlin. I'm a 23-year-old writer from Colorado, and I'm documenting my entire journey to becoming a published author. In this video, we are doing something a little silly. I've challenged myself to write outside of the house every single day for a week, and the places get progressively weirder. Today, though, we are starting with something tame. We're just going to the climbing gym. So yeah, let's go get ready for that. I'm back from the gym and it was a success. Pros, it was a really positive atmosphere. There was a lot of different places to write, and it was really nice to have an active break. Usually when I'm writing at home, I'll try to take a walk at least once a day, and it's just not realistic to go on 10 walks a day. So that was really nice to be able to kind of split up the session. The cons, however, my hands were pretty chalky, and it kind of got on my laptop keyboard and just was not the best feeling. And then my hands were starting to cramp by the end of it, so had I been actually trying to crank out a lot of words, I think my hands would have cramped a lot sooner. So it was a really good thing I was just outlining. But I would call that a success. So if you have a climbing gym near you, I would give it a try. Next place I'm gonna go this week is Chipotle, and you may be thinking, that's a terrible place to go write. So then I say, let's go find out. I'm walking to Chipotle right now, and the crime here is that it's October, but it's still like 70 degrees outside. So Colorado, get it together because I'm ready for fall. The other problem with these vlogs is that when I walk, it's the same place every time. So all of my B-roll is exactly the same. So you're just gonna hang out with me today a little bit longer. Look at how pretty the sky is. I bet it's gonna rain. There she is. That was honestly one of the best writing sessions I've had all week. I got so much done. The outline is really beefing up, and yeah, I'd say Chipotle was a success. Good morning. We're in the car because it's the next day. I just had a really long chat with a friend from camp, so I'm in a really good mood. But let's talk about Chipotle. So I was actually surprised with how well that went. I don't know if I just had a good writing day or if it was the atmosphere, but yeah, the pros, it was pretty quiet. I feel like I was there for what should have been like a dinner rush, but there wasn't that many people that came in. Another pro was having my protein bowl, so I just was feeling like really fueled, and if I was hungry, which often happens when I'm like at a coffee shop, I was able to just eat more of my dinner. The con though was that the drive up buzzer was really annoying, so that did kind of like pull me out here and there, but I did have my noise canceling headphones on. So we're also in the car today for another reason. We have to run a lot of errands today. And today's writing location is going to be pretty weird. Like I said, things were going to get progressively weirder. I am planning on taking a few minutes for lunch at the Costco food court. So that's where I'm going to write today, at about my halfway point. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm back home now, and I didn't end up running all of the errands that I needed to do because I bought a TV from Costco. I haven't bought a TV in like probably 11 or 12 years, so it's about time that I upgraded. I was looking at my TV last night, or the other night when I was watching the Hunger Games, and I was like, wow, I can't see at all. So I decided to get a bigger one, but yeah. Anyways, pros and cons of Costco food court. As you guys saw, I did print off kind of my outline, and I did only have a few more things that I needed to kind of figure out. Pros of the Costco food court. My meal was only like $6, and that's like the cost of one coffee from Starbucks, so that's pretty great. Another pro was that there's like just enough ambiance that it's not like distracting. I would say though, a con was there was a lot of people, so I was a little worried about people watching me film, but I wasn't worried about writing. And then another con was that the table was kind of sticky. To be fair, I did show up at like lunchtime, so one of the employees ended up like wiping down tables and stuff after a lot of the people left. So had I come a little bit later, I think it would have been a little cleaner, but otherwise I was pretty locked in. I put my AirPods in and I just like sat down and wrote, and so I got a lot more figured out. I'm super close to being done with the outline. Again, just a few more things to figure out, but it's all falling into place, and I'm so stoked to actually start writing and taking y'all along for that. That's going to be it for me for today, but I will let y'all know where I end up tomorrow. Hi, it's the next day. I technically went outside of the house yesterday and wrote. I was planning on going to a coffee shop later in the afternoon, but then my roommate distracted me with a TV show. So I didn't end up leaving that night, but I did go to the gym that morning, and so you did see a clip of that. I didn't bring my laptop like I wanted to. I forgot it on my desk, so I ended up just kind of doing a little bit of writing on my phone. But today we are going to go to Barnes & Noble. I am in the parking lot right now, about to head in, and oh my gosh, so many scenes came to me last night, and I'm just so eager to start writing. I'm going to just kind of jot down the basic ideas of them, but today is mostly working on characters so that the next video can go up about my process for writing characters. So about to head in. I will let y'all know how it goes. Also, I got Dutch this morning. Is it wrong of me to bring that in there if I'm gonna go sit at the cafe? I feel like yes, but also I feel like at this point I don't really care. Okay, I'm back from Barnes & Noble and I didn't do much filming. It was honestly one of those times where I was just kind of staring into space, and through doing some character work I realized that like I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to like get them down and like figure everything out, but I feel like mostly when I have written in the past, characters sort of come to life on the page, and so I will know certain things about them, but I feel like the stuff that I was just trying to figure out today, I think it's just too early. I think it'll start to show itself more as I start to write. And yeah, I was there for like 3 hours, and like 2 of those hours was me just like trying to force it and nothing was really happening. And so the last hour, when I kind of just gave up on that, I had a few scenes come to mind and everything just kind of like started flowing out really well. So yeah, that was my day at Barnes & Noble. Tomorrow I have writer's group, so I will be writing outside of the house, the library, and then the next day I'm actually driving back to my parents' house. I'm going to be going to my cousin's wedding, so I will be riding on the road, so that'll be fun. Oh my gosh, y'all, editing is not for the faint of heart. Well, I'm going to need you to make more songs because I'm obsessed with you. Good morning. It's Saturday. It is the second to last day before the challenge ends. I'm at the library waiting to go in to writer's group that happens in about 15 minutes. And today I'm just going to be writing some scenes. I had another scene come to me last night, so just gonna do that. I know I said yesterday that I was forcing myself to stop working on characters, and I think that is the right move. I have all this creative energy and I want it to go somewhere. I don't want to be sitting wasting it trying to like work out stuff that I think will just happen naturally. So I'm really excited to write some scenes today. I also want to know, maybe this is just me, but when I am writing and I'm like really in the zone, I'll start to like act it out like several times. Just like in my head, not necessarily like full body acting, but just kind of like getting in the moment. So I just want to know, does anybody else do that, or am I crazy? Because this morning was one of those times, and I did it several times to sort of get the wording right. So I'm gonna go in and write, and then I will let y'all know how it goes. Okay, I'm back, and for you that's gonna be no time at all because I didn't get any filming done. But writing group is so fun. I'm so excited. I feel like everyone was just so appreciative that I was able to like organize it, and it just made me think that I should have done this a lot sooner. I don't know why it never occurred to me that I could be the one to organize a writer's group. So if you're looking for a writer's group and you don't have any in your area, just start one. It was so easy. I basically looked on Facebook, didn't find any groups, and so then I made my own. On Facebook, I joined some other groups, my area's friend group and my area's women in their 20s group, and then I just made one post in each group and said, hey, any writers? And I got a lot of like responses on that. So now I have a writing group of 20 people. Not everyone is showing up to every meeting. Also, this was the first meeting, so understandable. But yeah, really fun. I got some writing done. I feel like I could have done a little bit better, but it is what it is. I feel like the scenes that I wanted to write, I did write. I just felt like they weren't quite I just didn't have a lot of like substance to them yet. I'm also kind of worried because yesterday where I was at, I was mostly done with chapter 1, and it was only like 2,000 words, and I know that's not a big deal, and I know that things will like change and words will be added, but I am a little worried that it's going to be a pretty sparse book, which is crazy to say because I definitely am an overwriter. So much so that the project that I started last year I thought was literally just going to be a standalone, and it's turned into like probably 5 or 6 books at this point. But I haven't touched that since last year. But anyways, that is it for me today. I am going to be on the road tomorrow, and I'm going to try dictating for the first time. Well, not really the first time. I've definitely done like voice notes of scenes that come to mind, especially when I'm driving. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm still trying to decide if I should do a voice note of scenes and then type it up later, or if I should try what other people do where they actually dictate. We'll see how it goes. I'm also not quite sure how I'm going to film much of that because the phone holder that I got, it definitely like melted off of my dashboard because I have to park my car outside, and so it was a little toasty, and the glue came up. So I don't really have my phone holder anymore. But yeah, so if this is the end of the video, this is the end of the video. Actually, that's not true because I still do want to do some reflection. So this won't be the end. You'll see me a little bit later, but you'll also see me tomorrow. Good morning, it's Sunday. We're officially on the road. It's the last day of the challenge. This one is going to be a little interesting. Usually when I am riding on the road, what comes to me is dialogue, and that's really good because I'm able to get like a really good chunk of dialogue, and then when I go in later and write it down, I'll get like the rest of the scene. That's probably what I'll do today, is just end up writing a lot of dialogue. I don't think I can really film me actually dictating, so what more than likely you'll get is just a bunch of B-roll from the road. It's a really pretty drive. It takes us through some pretty wooded areas, and yeah, it's just gonna be beautiful. So I'll give you my final thoughts here in a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna do my final thoughts before I head out. Pros of riding while driving: I was able to play music, get in the zone, come up with some scenes. It's also fun to see kind of like what my characters will do. I feel like music does influence the actions, and I feel like that's why a lot of people don't like riding with music. I personally get really inspired by music, but I won't write with it, but I will listen to it right before I get into the scene. Cons: it's kind of difficult. The only way that I'm really able to do it is voice note. It was fun though. Overall, it was really challenging. Getting out of the house every single day is really hard. I'm lucky that I work part-time so that I have time that I can go out and do stuff like that. I think in the future I would like to find a spot that really feels good, so that way I can sort of start to trick my brain into thinking, oh, once we go here, we're really in the zone. My favorite place to write this week was Chipotle, and I don't know why. I did have a really good time writing there, so I'm not sure if it was just like the after effects of having a good day. So I don't know. I will maybe put it to the test and see if I feel as productive at Chipotle again as I did the first time. I am realizing now that I didn't do pros and cons for every single place, especially later in the week, but it was a fun video to film. I'm really glad I did it. If you have the time, I would challenge yourself to get out and do it. That's gonna be it for me, so I will see y'all in the next one. Happy writing.